And we're live. So, what's up, Dad?
Not much. It's my first live experience, first time in a studio. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, yeah. Don't have a heart attack. That would suck. Make sure
On
the
live TV though, you can sell that shit, son. Sell.
try and have the microphone up like real
Shit.
close to your face, right? So,
I feel like a tool.
feel like a tool. Yeah, I totally understand. There's times where like I'm listening back to it afterwards, and I'm sitting there like, oh God, I sound like such a oh God, why am I saying this?
The thing is, I'm used to. Like I know who I am.
Yeah.
I don't really want to see it though.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. Sorry. The truth is out. Connor's got a drunk ass dad.
Yeah, it happens. So is there anything you want to rant about?
Drunk ass dadness.
Sure.
All right. What's your take on it?
Oh,
It's important to me.
well, it could be worse. You could be like a drunk ass dad who's always trying to mooch off me.
Yeah, that's pretty harsh. That would be worse.
You could be a drunk ass dad that I knew was a drunk ass dad when I was a small child.
I wasn't exactly the drunk ass dad when you were a small child.
Well, that, yeah.
Like late, I just had more time for drinking.
Oh, well,
than
that
I used
happens.
to,
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell that to Deb? Just pass that on, man.
Well, that's your problem. That's what happens when you marry a woman and not me. It'd be kind of weird if I had married Deb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna be impressed by your words, like, that's your responsibility type thing. I'm like, yeah, that's very adult-like. But then the marrying my wife thing, you blew it. I really don't want to even look over there.
You don't have to look over there.
So Connor's got the screen that I can see myself.
Yeah,
I'm
the
trying
monitor.
not to look at the camera either.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, in the 80s when they always made fun of people that went on camera for the first time, they say, don't look at that, just don't look at the camera.
Yeah.
And the joke was the guy would just stare at the camera. Oh, shit, see?
Yeah.
It's a real thing, man.
Yeah, well, I kind of want to have the feed up just to make sure that, like, oh, if it goes blank or something, or. But aside from that, I totally get what you're saying, because it gets distracting. I'm sitting there sometimes when I'm, like, streaming my games, and I've got a feed down below, just so, again, I can just check to make sure that my feed's still going.
And also, too, I'm more TV generation rather than internet generation. There is a difference. The TV meant a whole lot. Like, when I was a kid, the TV meant a lot. And to my dad's generation, my parents, if you ever noticed, they got always the 56, 106, or whatever the fuck is important. They got the biggest and best television and stuff.
Yeah.
They're very much a TV generation. And it wasn't people on TV then. It was like producers and, big companies putting an image on TV.
Yeah.
And it was a lot different.
Yeah, well, apparently back, like, from what I hear, obviously I didn't live back then, but, back in the time when you had three channels, right? Like, if you were on TV, it was a big fucking deal, because everyone knew about you. It's not like nowadays where you go online, and it's like, maybe someone will discover you, maybe, but there's, like, so much content online that the best you can do is...
Yeah. Well, in some ways, that whole interweb thing is great. The way information is shared.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. But there's a whole lot of talent that,
yeah.
Probably a whole lot more competition. I don't think that's a bad thing, though. If you look at some of the people that made it off of YouTube with their musics and stuff,
Well, competition drives greatness, right? Like, the more competition you have in the pool, the greater the outcome you're going to have, because there's more people striving for that top spot, right?
And a lot more entertainment, too, because there's a lot more entertainers that are going to do it, maybe not get, like, millionaire. They're maybe not going to ever sell out the big stadiums and shit like the Stones and the freaking Beatles and shit. But, you know, they're still going to get their 15 minutes and can make a living. And there's probably, and a lot more of those people can get heard.
Yeah.
Whereas before, no, you had to be the Beatles or the fucking Stones.
Yeah, you had to be discovered by like one of these guys.
There was some big dude behind you now wanting to do this with your studio and stuff. The potential is there rather than, you know, you don't have to rely on some rich guy that needs to make a bunch of money off you.
From the time we sat down, it took me like, what, 5 minutes to essentially get... I had this thing with the Facebook not wanting to load the feed, but aside from that, like, yeah, I hit stream, it starts streaming, hit record, we're recording the audio, and then just later on I'm going to slap on an intro and an outro on that, and then just upload that, and that'll go out, and super easy.
It's all Greek to me, bro. So I'm sure it's easy. I'm sure it's easy, but it doesn't mean I get it.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I do what it does, I understand, but the how these things work, no, there's no moving bits and shit. I don't like it. I like franken things that, like, you know, there's a piston and a valve and a spring.
You're like, I like to be able to see the inner mechanics of it.
Yeah, if something does or see the... Although that I know it does, because you do see it. I spend all kinds of time on YouTube and shit like that. Like, but
get the microphone a little closer to you. Yeah.
But in my actual, when I'm not, like my working day, I don't like the. Nothing happens. It's not even real. It's like you were saying earlier. Money, there's no such. Money doesn't actually.
Yeah,
like there's no physical.
Gold always will have value, mainly because it can be used for other things, and it is pretty. It's a finite thing, but money is
something that you can hold in your hand.
Whereas money is just a thing that we've printed to represent like the value of actually gold. It was supposed to be gold.
Since they broke the gold standard, it's absolutely pointless. It's like, well. Remember when that happened, you know what happened to Russia? They were just like, their money was worth nothing. They just relied on vodka. Yeah. That was their currency. This much, you know. And crazy ball as that is, makes a lot more sense than, well, there's a bunch of zeros and O's put together here, so that, you know, that's more, at least a vodka has a value. I just look.
Vodka.
I enjoyed that. That has a value to me.
Yeah.
A bunch of O's and some Trumps and...
Yeah. Like that Wolf of Wall Street type shit, like...
Yeah, it's all money, all the... wealth, and it's really bullshit. You want wealth? Be good to your family.
Yeah.
That's all any man can ask, and that's the only way to get it.
Yeah,
that's the only way.
I've always felt that, like, you gotta fix yourself first, and then you gotta fix your house first, and then you gotta fix your community, and then you can fix the world.
Totally. Home, family first. And if you can get that, brother, thank you. Yeah, I'm working on it. But I like to think, once you did, you could start moving outwards into your community. But you gotta start it with the families.
Yeah.
Like, it's, if you can't support your own kin... Yeah. Good talk. This podcasting's not as scary as I thought.
Yeah, you just sit down, you just have a conversation. No need to fret. Just pretend like no one's listening, because let's be honest.
I'm gonna fret anyways. Let's fret a lot.
Let's be honest, no one's probably listening. Not yet, anyways.
Wait, I'm not famous yet?
No, not yet. Oh. It doesn't happen that quickly.
Okay.
Well, I have like 5...
You need to borrow your phone and tell the guy wants to be my manager to back off a little. Just a little bit then.
Why do I need to do it?
He's kind of a pit bull.
Why do I need to call him?
No, I need to call him. I need to borrow your phone because I'm Poe.
Oh, I see how it is.
Not really.
Did you just say Poe?
Yeah, sorry. I've been listening to Kid Rock.
Yeah.
I know.
I know you may be tan as fuck, but you're still white as shit. Just like me. Poe is just a little too black for you. Don't worry, I get that way.
It's the Kid Rock got me. Podunk, I think. I just think that's the funniest thing.
Oh, Kid Rock. I thought you said Chris Rock.
No, Kid Rock.
Oh.
He's white too.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's whiter than we are.
Yeah.
I saw this one picture and it's like, I saw the craziest rock formation today, and then it's like Kid Rock, Chris Rock, and fucking The Rock.
I like all those folks. Huh? I like that, you know.
He's a good fucking actor.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Well, Dwayne Johnson, yeah. You know what's funny? I watched this thing, there was all these people that went after to get the dirt on Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
So it was fucking awesome. Well, they come out with it, well, the problem is the guy's just awesome. Good fun. I'm messing around on his wife. He's a good family. He's been, and just that charismatic.
He's up at like what, 6 in the morning every day to work out.
Oh,
like,
I don't know how that guy's got time to sleep. You ever seen how many movies that guy makes?
Yeah.
And they're all. I'd watch every one. There's some I missed. I can't believe it.
Yeah, well, I love when you're listening to Joe Rogan. He goes off about people. He's like, I follow their Instagrams, and every morning at like 6 o'clock they're posting like, look at my watch, alarm's going off. Let's get after it, boys. It's like, fuck, I don't have that kind of determination. I'm like, I can barely work out, let alone get up to work out, let alone...
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure Dwayne Johnson, he ain't getting in the morning bonging a bong. He ain't hitting the bong at 6:30 in the morning. He's on the Instagram and going to work. Before his pants are on, he said, like, his eyes open up, he's like, know what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
And as he's getting dressed, he's probably on the phone and working.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of... It's funny. Poor folk. You know, as much as you hate the rich, that's like, it's you know, maybe sure, they ain't digging no ditches, but when they get up, when their eyes open, they're working.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't stand and it doesn't stop till they close their eyes and they'll sleep 2 hours a freaking night, for Christ's sakes.
There's a reason why they invented Adderall.
And they're paying for it too, because like, let's face it, like, they're not always happy. Dwayne Johnson, I like to say Dwayne, I wish I knew him. Really?
Yeah, because, you know...
I'd like to think he's as happy as I'd like to... I'm hoping that's not... I'm just hoping he's not working so hard that he's just...
Yeah.
That sometime he's got... I just hope he never... Yeah, I just hope he's Dwayne Johnson forever, you know.
Hope he never gets old and he never dies. Can just be awesome.
Well, we can make comic books about him after, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We could do that.
Yeah, they could immortalize people. If we can immortalize Batman, who never really existed, we can immortalize Dwayne the Rock Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Yeah. I gotta learn how to speak.
Speaking is good.
That's probably the most drunk sounding you've sounded all day.
I've been working on it, actually. Not as much as you think. Okay, I've been working on it.
Yeah.
For 46 years.
Takes a little bit of practice.
Practice I got.
See, it's funny when you think about like how practice makes perfect, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing twice and expecting different results.
Yeah.
Because that
hard
makes
to
sense.
get away from, because it's really English doctrine.
Yeah.
Is really, you decide what you want, you go after it, you don't stop till you get. Doesn't matter how fucking retarded. You can do the dumbest ass, you can send it and does it. It just doesn't. And really, that's what you know, pluck is. It's not ever giving up, no matter how freaking futile and, you know, maybe stupid it is. I don't know where I was going with that. It was probably a bad place, really.
Let's turn this up just.
So it's all live, so no editing, right?
Yeah, no editing.
Brutal.
Oh well, could be worse.
Yeah. Pluck's a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
It can be. Like when the most ridiculous character, sometimes you get in there, good for esprit de corps, you know. That make you feel good and stuff.
Yeah.
They have a purpose.
Morale boosters. Make everyone feel good. Like Plucky Pig or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's really, when they got the Winston Churchill thing going on too, right? You once said that, you know, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Well, here's the thing. It may not be an intelligent thing. It's a great fucking thing. And you know what? If people believe it, it fucking works.
Yeah.
And guess what? Look, it worked.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They have their place.
Watched any good comedy specials lately?
Not so much. When I was a big comedy special, maybe when I was like younger, I thought I just don't. I don't know, the stand up. It's weird. I love stand up. I used to emulate every good stand.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
When I went to, there was a time when I went out and talked to people. Really, I was just repeating things I heard the late night stand up.
Yeah.
People say. It's just been a long time since I've even looked into that.
You should check out Jim Jeffries' new special. It's fucking hilarious.
Definitely a name that comes up a lot for sure, man.
He's got this one bit. It's live in London, and he's now an official American citizen. He's an ex-Australian, and so he's going off. He's like, I think they should build the wall on the Canadian side. And they should make it about 3 feet tall just to take the piss out of them. So that when they're crawling on the ground, because their lungs are all filled with coal dust because they got their jobs back, they
Gets to be American citizen and lays it down. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious. I love him. He's one of my favorite comedians.
Unfortunately, I used to work with this guy Dave, and he went off about Jim Jeffries a lot, and I had him mixed up with that Corbin guy who does the karaoke carpool.
Oh, James Corbin.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like karaoke carpool, man.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
I saw this one hilarious one. It was like Adele doing Spice Girls. That I was like, ah!
That's pretty good.
Yeah, she got right into it, and it's like, yeah, you would.
Well, have you not seen James Corbin?
Yeah.
Can belt out just about any dang thing he wants. When he gets into it, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some funny shit. The one that got me was Foo Fighters.
Ooh, that would have been good.
Yeah.
I love the Foo Fighters. They do all sorts of funny, hilarious shit.
It sounded great in the cab. Well, they ended up taking him to the gig.
Yeah.
And put him on stage, or it was probably before the show or whatever. But yeah. And it's before he was trying to buck it too. He's like, no, I do karaoke cab. It's kind of I'm a comedian. They were like, no.
No, you're getting up on stage.
And he can belt it out. He's got a great, he's got all the enthusiasm.
Have you ever seen the thing on the internet? It was going off about the Foo Fighters when they rickrolled the church, I'm pretty sure. Because, here, I gotta look this up.
Rickrolled the church?
If I remember correctly, the church was, protesting them. So, they got back.
The church protested
Foo
Fighters?
The Foo Fighters.
The church? I mean, really.
I don't know which.
There's a lot of churches. What is the church?
Westboro Baptist Church. Oh, and apparently they did it somewhere else too, but this is the one I want.
He did do that devil thing. Remember when he broke his leg and sat on the big throne? And I can imagine some really lighter people. Rolled?
Rick rolled. You know that song, Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down, Never
Yeah,
gonna...
they did a thing with him too.
Because they were protesting outside of one of their concerts. So they're like, okay. And it's a huge thing on the internet. You put up something where it's it looks like a chick about to take off her top, and then all of a sudden, never gonna give you. It's this huge thing on the internet.
Holy rainbow tattoo guy.
Well, yeah, because the Westboro Baptist Church they're protesting gay people or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It's what the Westboro Baptist Church does. They protest like a bunch of cunts.
They're very loud.
Yeah, there was
different I don't know. We don't really get it that much here. Have you ever really seen that here?
Yeah, we don't get crazy religious people up here very much, that I've noticed.
Well, they're here, and they speak their mind, but they don't seem to just
they're
protest concerts or or they don't stop the
apparently the
LGBT XYZ community from having their fancy parades and shit. So, I don't know. It's weird.
Like the Westboro Baptist Church is like pretty big for like just being real cunts about things, and it's gotten to the point where like they have to hire police to like essentially be private security because they're not technically doing anything illegal, just really distasteful, like protesting the funeral of a gay kid or shit like that.
Yeah, well that's...
Yeah.
And you know what? No, inciting violence... should, if it is not illegal, it's just stupid not to be. If you show up to a funeral, people are hurting because of a death of their loved ones, like that. No, you're asking to get gunned the fuck down. It's your fault if you get killed. Police are supporting that. Don't like that. Don't like that at all.
It's
not good. Like when I was a boy, I thought cops were peace officers to protect the peace.
No, they're there to enforce the law.
And it's not even the law they're enforcing. It's whatever niche community wants to cry a lot's opinion.
Yeah.
A lot. Not all the time, sure, and every cop's going to probably want to give me the nut squeeze again. I've been through it before. I'll do it again, and I'm not going to stop bitching about it. So don't waste your time squeezing my fucking nuts anymore.
Stupid cops.
Careful, boy. You don't need the nut squeeze. You ever did a nut to you? You ever do that to you?
No, I've never actually.
Don't just be like me, because unfortunately, there's a thing they like to call. It's like guilt by association. Because I'm your son now, automatically, because I just said that. This is like live, right?
Yeah.
It's like Trump. Right? When he's stupid and freaking hammered on his own ass and says stupid things on the tweeting and shit. This is what we're doing now. And, like I said, drunk ass dad.
Yeah, well, it happens. I don't care.
That's exactly how it happens. You don't want to go with the same way I do, right?
Oh, it could be worse.
Yeah. Maybe not so good for you though. you don't deserve it for my beliefs.
Oh, it's not about, like, it's just about having conversations and experiencing different people's beliefs and
but when
having
you do
different
that, when
discussions.
You're having don't we have conversations like this sometimes?
Yeah.
But it's different when you're hooked up.
There's
radio. When you put it out there, it's a completely different story. It's not your own personal beliefs anymore. Once it's out there, it belongs to the world. It's like radio, rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
That's how rock and roll came to be, was radio. They put it out there. Some black people made some wicked awesome music. Some white people went, you know what, I'm going to put that on a track and get it on the radio and make myself famous. And the black people boogie to was like, yeah, because the cool people knew where it came from. And that's how rock and roll got born. It was free radio, and once it came on, once you got a song on the radio, like if you heard a song and could play it, redo it, you have every right to do so. It's once it goes out on the airwaves, it's not. You can't own a song.
Yeah.
Like once you couldn't stop somebody if you can play music, you couldn't stop you from playing whatever you wanted or heard that you liked. And the truth is, that's what puts seats in fucking...
Yeah.
That's what puts asses in seats. Like the Lars Ulrich with his whole, you freaking not making it free, so everyone's got to pay for music. Fuck you, Lars Ulrich.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, it's...
and the other thing, too, is...
If there's a will, there's a way.
You put it out there, it doesn't matter. It's getting out there, and lucky for you that you were wrong.
Yeah.
Okay? Because otherwise you wouldn't be the rich fucking pretentious prick that you are. With your not thinking music should be free. You put it out there for free. People hear it. They like you. They like, Lars Ulrich makes good music. I want to see him in concert. So they pay their big monies to go and sit their ass down in a stadium and buy their T-shirts and your freaking whatever.
That's where you make
and
your
you
money
get,
is your
when
merch.
you go on the radio and everybody likes you, some asshole pays to get his car insurance sales place freaking on that radio, and that gets paid, and you can get your buck from them. Your fans are, if you're lucky, they'll pay to go see you.
Yeah, like if you look at what like Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman do with Hollywood Babylon, like the only things they really advertise on their show is other shows on their network, on like the Smodco. Yeah, that's the only thing you really, or like tour dates or whatever. But aside from that, because it's all live shows with an audience, they get a 90-10 split from the people. It's always a sold out show. They get paid from ticket sales. The venue makes their money from liquor sales mostly, and then they make like a small 10% off. And that's it. Like that's where they make most of their money.
Like Joe Rogan, I watch when I watch him, it's usually off YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So he's got to be making a.
Well, yeah, that's all advertising. That's all advertising money. He actually doesn't really make.
Yeah, I don't blame him. So you got to make your money somehow.
He probably gets demonetized for most of his YouTube videos. He probably makes most of his money through his podcast, like the audio only version, because that's where most of the people listen, and that's where he's getting the advertising, like go throughs from. I'm not 100% sure because I obviously haven't started getting paid for doing this yet, but.
Yeah, Mick has been making music videos and putting them on YouTube. And he just likes it, and I don't know, it seems a little time consuming, very meticulous to me. I don't know if I got the patience for it. He seems to enjoy it and stuff. He's probably going to keep doing it, and
Well, that's what I like about this. This is so passive, right? Yeah. Like I can just sit here and do it. Like I don't have to do anything special to really set up. Like for the video games, like instead of just turning on the video game and playing it, now I turn on the video game, turn on OBS, hit start stream quickly, link to stuff, and then go. Oh, speaking of which, I never linked off on the Facebook.
I'm like wondering how do kids find time to hook all this shit up and get it working and la da 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 da?
It took me one afternoon to figure it out, but that's because I was reading an old article. Once I figured it out,
you got to remember you don't have an old lady getting in there and stopping you.
Fair enough. But once I figured it out, it probably would have taken me like 10 minutes if I had just read the right article to begin with. I want to go down here. I want to quickly. Bam.
Now I see myself over there too. I don't like it everywhere.
Yeah. But.
That's
you get used to it. You get used to it. It's not as big of a deal as you would think.
But what if my mom finds out there's a podcast and mom's watching it?
Oh, that's my biggest fear of all time.
My mom, dude. That's your grandmother, dude.
Oh. Oh, well.
That's like...
They're going to find out one
I know
day.
I've said things. I say them all the time, actually, but... Not in front of my mom.
Yeah, that's why I try and tell people don't say anything you don't want your mom to hear. Just in case.
That's some good advice.
Yeah. Like, I don't care if my mom hears about me going off about some kid that I think is a fucking whiny little cock.
Yeah.
Like some Bailey fucking jizzmaster fucking... thinking he's all cool, fucking standing there just chatting, not doing any work, while fucking everyone around him's like, and then he whines and bitches that he works so hard, and...
hey, yeah. Hey, the guy that's got time to whine and bitch like that, ain't working hard enough. Way too much fucking energy.
Like,
if you're working hard, at the end of the day, you're not going to cry. You're just going to go home, and if you're lucky, have a nice meal and a good family to go to.
Yeah. Like, I like to bitch about work, but I also make a joke out of it. I make a joke out of it. Like, you know what I mean?
Everybody bitches. There's nobody that doesn't bitch about work.
He, like, legitimately, it's one of those annoying things where he bitches about how hard he has to work. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of what you're here for.
Yeah, that's sort of what, yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, when I joke, I'm like, "Oh man, you're expecting me to like walk over here and put this thing away." Oh man.
A little guy, when I was working in the mill, they got this thing where there was no women working. It had never there'd been never really. I think there'd been about 2 women worked in that mill previous to this point. So they were going international, so they had to hire the next there was a time when they said, well, if you're gonna when you hire, the next 5 have got to be women.
Yeah.
That's because it was a 0. Like I'm telling you, 100% male
dominated field.
Completely.
Yeah. Sausage party.
Absolutely. So I think it was 5 women. It was bizarre. Suddenly, all the guys I wanted to punch in the face, we started treating each other respectfully. Yeah, it was yeah. That was the big one. But the thing that got me was they got in and every one of these jerkwad motherfucking inbred freaking just not a good place to work.
Yeah.
When the women came, it was like, yeah. When everyone started treating each other good, it wasn't bad for a bit. Then the women started bitching.
Like they do.
Well, here's the thing. Of course, there's 5 of them, so they can hang out here. But they don't understand is, it's a mill. You're not. Doesn't matter what kind of woman you are. You ain't beating mill gossip. There is no.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Men gossip just as much as women do. In places like mills or stops or the ferry terminal.
You get a group of people together and shit's gonna start being spread.
Yeah. So the first bitch, the one that got me, is when they got together and I'm standing right next to them, and they're saying to us, like, "Can you believe what they make women do in here?" And I remember thinking, well, yeah, that's the job that you got hired to do. Guess what?
Yeah. You're getting paid to do a service.
Paid the same as us. And you didn't have to really, you kind of got the job because they're a woman. It was, and trust me, it wasn't something, it works out good. It's the same as men. They hire 5 guys and, 4 of them are going to maybe not work out.
Yeah. You got to play those odds.
But the women don't suffer. That one guy, like if you're trying to get that job, if you're a guy, you got to be that one fucking guy.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's women time, all 5 of them women keep that fucking job, right? So
yeah, because they don't want to get sued or anything.
Yeah.
Because apparently the idea of if you want equal rights, you have to take on equal responsibilities doesn't make any sense to anyone.
No, apparently not. At least no one with any who, has any
left-leaning tendencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trudeau kind of
I'm starting to feel sorry because I've worked with a lot of women who have earned their own.
Don't get me wrong. I work with.
I'm not a. Yeah, and unfortunately, I feel sorry for them because the vast majority of women are making them look bad. Those ones that unfortunately we're letting things go too far, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I work in a kitchen where, like, most of the openers are women and...
Well, also, too, in that part of the service industry is always women have always worked in that particular...
Yeah.
So, it is kind of a way to bit more of the territories. It's gonna...
Yeah, no, there's some women you really don't want to fuck with in that kitchen.
No, there's women you don't want to fuck with.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's not about Ginsu or freaking be able to snap your neck power. But they can get you killed just as easy.
Yeah.
It's fucking just as probably more dangerous. You could be in a room with a guy that quite literally could snap your fucking neck, or it doesn't matter how SAS trained or whatever the fuck. Chances are it's not gonna fucking happen. But lift your eyebrow at the wrong time, or maybe aren't wearing the right fucking shoes or something, and a woman might have you fucking killed. Yeah, just start a freaking...
Yeah, just start fucking going off.
Yeah, make up a story because I'm bored and want to be
Yeah.
You know, center of attention. Abuse is the greatest way to be the center of attention, which is a horrible thing because some people get abused, and if I'm telling you, if I was ever abused, and then if I hear douchebag fucking blah blah, I'd want to fucking stab that phony fuck a lot.
Well, that's what I always hear, right? Like the people that actually go through abuse don't go around and
they're not all like, look at me, I'm a celebrity because I got raped or beaten or some terrible thing happened to me. No, it ain't like that at all. That really happens to people, and you people that take advantage of that are douchebags. And I feel sorry. And also, too, my own words, when I get mad at those people that do that, and the poor people that do get hurt by that shit are now hurt by my words, making me a douchebag, too.
Well, we always knew you were a douchebag.
Well, so but
we'll give you a pass this time.
But, you know, being the kind of douchebag, am I going to try and justify it a little bit? A little.
It's always good to try, I figure. Douchebag.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm single. Or so I tell people.
I have no idea why I'm not single. I am just freaking... It's sheer luck, really.
It's because you still have a child in the house. After that, you'll be free.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, thanks. Well, it's not free. Be mean to ever gonna think about things differently. Like...
Well, I imagine stuff must be changing a lot now that Spencer is gone. Because I've always kind of not really been there, so it probably wasn't that big of a deal when I moved out, I figured.
Spence moved out, suddenly it was like, yeah, our tiny little place seemed not so...
Yeah.
It's really... Yeah, it does change things a lot.
I could imagine.
Yeah, it's... and then you start thinking ahead, well, wasn't exactly prepared for Spence leaving home. You know, I'm still a pretty young guy, still plenty of father in me. I figure. Lorna's 14. Then you start looking ahead to that, like, how do I mitigate that?
Got about, like, what?
Yeah.
6 to 10 years or so, give or take?
Well, in the modern day, you know, it's weird. Most people my age, I've heard a lot of people my age hacking millennials for living at home at like 33.
Yeah.
I heard somewhere that I think I must have I think the dude that told me misquoted the numbers. But they said like the average age now is like freaking 30 or something.
Well, that, yeah, like
which I find hard to believe because I know an awful lot of millennials that are, you know, living at home.
Well, here's the way I look at it. When I go and post an ad online being like looking for roommates, I get responses like immediately. Like I'll wake up with like half a dozen responses at least. Like it's really hard to find a place, especially when I'm putting out like 400, 500 for a room. They're like, "Wait, what?" But so I imagine it's pretty hard to find a place. And not only that, but when you do find a place, like the housing like just the money situation, like people don't know how to manage their money. I wouldn't say like the economy is shit because I don't make that much more than minimum wage.
The housing is different economies.
Yes.
The housing market is freaking. There's a lot of debt. Like just from your own words, there's just too many desperate kids out there for looking. Yeah. You know, and the problem is the people that are holding on the cards are like, oh, shitty. Well, homeless people don't look after their money well. No, it's
because there's no money for them.
Yeah, and you don't understand. Well,
I'm lucky because I have a job.
Because like their mortgage on the $1 million home is only about $650 a month.
Yeah.
Because they had the equity when they went into that. And most of them equity came from their mom and their fucking dads.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not. Don't get me wrong. And being my age, I would love to be able to hand that shit down to you kids. Just not if I can.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was an option for my parents either, because shit was been tough all over for the entire history of the human race.
Yeah.
But now we have to look at things. If it's not just a certain percentage of, it's 99% of our children are struggling to put roofs over their head because there's no fucking roofs to put over their freaking
and
head.
here, like, it gets really weird, especially when we start looking at automation stuff, because, like, one of the biggest problems...
You can't just go work in the Ford plant because a robot does it.
Yeah, like for the longest time now, our biggest issue has been unemployment. And then what are you going to do when there is no more employment to employ people with? Like,
yeah, well,
we're going to have to figure out some sort of universal basic income or something like that.
A lot of like advertising, here's how money's made now. So another thing we're saying, money's bullshit doesn't exist. People are working, doing things that don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like marketing, they just like.
And those are the most oppressed people, according to studies, because they know for a fact that the job that they're doing is totally useless. Like
accomplishes nothing. You're sure money first. It's stupid that money changes hands for half of what people call work. Like if you sit in an office and have one of these things, this is entertainment. This is us sitting around.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting an employer to pay, could you imagine? Fucking ain't going nowhere. You know what? You're gonna pay me. Hell, I'll do this for $6 an hour.
Exactly.
I'll go cut grass during the day, and at night I'll come back and pay. You can pay me $6 an hour. I'll sit here and bullshit and get drunk all night, every night.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? I could do it a lot. I don't even need to really sleep about 5 hours a fucking day. I don't need to go cutting out grass no more. It's $6 an hour.
Yeah.
If I can put that kind of time in just for yakking my ass off,
exactly.
I can do that.
That's the whole plan behind this whole thing, is hopefully to just yak my ass off
enough. That's some smart ass shit.
Till eventually someone decides to start paying me.
Well, that's the thing the other thing is, what other options do millennials got?
Yeah.
You're really going to sling shit the way the baby boomers did? Because everything else they got was handed to them by their parents. Like all the big industry, all those big money, all them union shit came handed down to them, and they took it and looked down at us because guess what? There's just too many of them, and they were like, sorry, suckers, you punks.
Yeah.
And now they're getting old and come back to us, and, look at me, I'm old, and, no, I don't feel sorry for you, dumbass. You were
take care of me.
Yeah.
No.
You were a dick.
Yeah.
You were dicks.
Did you ever take care of me?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. And they're point of view, because your children, like my children, I wished I could have taken better care of. But what I did give them, I didn't come back to them and be like, okay, you owe me now because I bought you them motherfucking shoes.
Yeah.
Here's the fucking deal. The bare minimum, like I grew up in a bare minimum where like it was your dad's legal obligation, like you know dad doesn't have any. It's legal obligation to apply with like 2 pairs of shoes and 2 sets of fucking school clothes a year, which is like, and that was one thing, and then of course at Christmas time they'd gift you and stuff, but they made goddamn good and sure, and they're still using it today. Remember, I bought you that gift that you like.
Yeah.
So I can say, do whatever. Fuck your hat. Keep your gifts.
Yeah.
Keep them.
That's
if I'm not paying with my soul for a GI Joe flying whatever. I don't give a shit.
There should be no reason why a parent can turn around and make the child responsible.
If you don't want to give your children that shit. Fuck, you're a cunt.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's been a few times where my mom and I have gotten into an argument. She's tried turning around and like turning it back on me, and it's like, okay, you're trying to turn around and make me out to be the bad guy in the situation when you as the parent should always just try to be the bigger person. Like, regardless of whether or not I'm wrong, let's be honest. Because sometimes I talk it out of my ass. But guess what? I'm a kid and I'm still growing. Well, I'm actually 25, but I'm still growing up. Like, you still fucking make mistakes, right? You should be the bigger person. You shouldn't be sitting there trying to tell me that it's my fault that we're getting into an argument right now. When in reality, it's...
And also, don't, and here's the thing. I didn't have, when I tried to deal with your mom, which broke me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Unlike me, brother, you're not alone. She's been living in this valley now just about as long as I have, and guess what? Word gets around.
Yeah.
Like, if it comes down to a fight, we start pulling subpoenas, and her shit comes down. It's a house of cards.
Yeah.
She's caused a lot of shit. Just saying.
Yeah. I might have to edit that little bit out.
That's the one. It's down. That's from.
Yeah.
I took it. I paid. I paid enough for both of us. You shouldn't have to. That's just wrong.
Yeah.
Truth is, your mom is going to hear this. If she comes after you, yeah, no. You tell her to talk to you, my dad. Those are my words.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. It's, yeah, no, it's kind of a tricky situation, especially seeing as that is my mother. But anyways, anything else you want to talk about quickly before we wrap it up? Trying to move
drunk
it along.
Drunk ass dad mooch a smoke off you?
Oh yeah, I could do that.
I really said I got a drunk ass dad, but at least it doesn't mooch off me.
Yeah, well, cigarettes are one thing. I have no problem trying to kill you.
I'm really sorry if I caused you any trouble for...
Oh, no worries. Don't worry about it.
Your mom.
Don't worry about it. It'll be easy. I'll just be like, listen, we were doing a thing, and, you know, that's what happens when you start talking. Like, sometimes you forget. Like, it's not really...
Except when you're all, like, live on the interweb and shit.
Fuck. Could be worse. I've dealt with a lot of stuff, and there's a certain point where, yeah, you might just have to sit down and have a real conversation and be like, this is how it is. But that's something for another time. In the meantime, any new shows you've been watching lately?
Mostly I've been YouTubing. My big one right now is called Ted's Holdover. And basically he's an air gunner. Very professional. Holds some competition records. But grew up on a farm. And he goes around to these farms and just shoots pests. Films it. And it's just really the way he talks about it. It's not just shooting the starling or rat or whatever. He's here. Here's how I made the shot. Here's the... And he really goes over it really well. And he really explains his ballistics really good. I find it very calming. I like it.
Nice.
He's got a fair bit of content too, so...
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah.
Like... There's this thing that Facebook does where, like, in your news feed, now that I have a page, it's like, you should promote this page or you should promote this post. And it's like, it's actually pretty cheap. Like, I could spend $7 and it would, for like a week, just, I think it was like, I could reach up to like 6,000 people or whatever over the course of that week, which isn't really that bad, I figured. You know, like, it's like 32 to 100 people a day. Well, if I get 100 people listening, that'd be crazy.
I'm just really worried about what happens when your mom hears. I don't know what
stop worrying about it, Dad. Anyways, we should wrap up. So,
totally.
Yeah, we're gonna go now, and I hope everyone enjoyed. Bye.